Ba 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 ba. Okay, it's moving, so hopefully. Okay, alright, okay, alright. Are you okay?
Yeah,
I'm alright.
I'm good. Here we go.
Got your shit?
Yeah, I got your shit.
Okay.
You've grown strong.
You've got a lot of health.
Let us settle this here and now. Lord of Calamity.
I turned the volume up and forgot.
Oh, alright.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Perfect.
I swear, we'll finish this.
One slap at a time.
I will devour all this hatred.
Searing edge.
Oh.
Not done yet.
No, I just plus 10 that.
Struggling.
Stop struggling.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah!
Give up your fight.
In this Tales game, you
I
don't
will
punch
end
guys.
the world's
You beat him.
sadness. I have to end it.
Arthur's forgotten maxim.
Oh!
That was pretty cool.
Really need to stop having people bite me on the neck.
Yeah, right? Yeah, a big ol' hole there. Oh, look out for that when it lands.
Oh! She doesn't
Damn!
even need a blade anymore.
Whoa!
Oh, never mind. She doesn't need one.
Damn it!
Wow, Cleve.
Holy shit!
Spoken like a true hero.
He's fucking really, hopefully dead, but
It's what you told me once, long ago.
holy shit.
On the day of the opening. Velvet. The Arthur you knew died that day.
Don't remember me as a pompous asshole. Remember me as a pompous
In the
asshole.
back of my mind. If only it hadn't been Silica and my son who were killed that day. If only it had been you two instead.
Oh,
Wow, what an asshole.
that's hecked up.
I thought the same thing so many times. If it had been us, then I know you would have fought to save the world for us.
Just like what I'm doing right now.
I wanted to save everyone.
Would you think about what you're doing, or no?
Pity.
Are we supposed to sympathize with you, man? Because you didn't
I
really...
think what they're not saying like you should sympathize with them, but maybe more so like how close it could have come for them switching roles.
Goodbye.
Well, I mean, Velvet would be dead, though.
It's true, but like where he would be the one who's doing the right thing to save everybody.
Hungry.
Maybe, I don't know. Ah!
I don't believe that, honestly. I don't think Artorias would be, like, on a
It's not
vengeance
over
spree.
yet.
He'd just have a happy family and live his life.
Yeah, 'cause
Super
I feel like
happy.
he was very self-absorbed.
Yeah.
I'm
Jeez! There's
Oh,
Thorman
man.
Apple.
Oh, he's
Oh.
lost his fucking, wasn't he his vessel or whatever?
Yeah.
Power is running wild.
No one is keeping his power in check anymore! This is bad!
Oh, we fucked
Still
up.
have time to kill him!
Wait.
Eisen's the one who's like, I'll get him. I got it.
I endured it all, even though I was scared, even though it hurt.
It's okay, he's my brother. I'll kill him.
Just takes out a knife.
I know. I drank that gross medicine. I stopped myself from doing what I wanted to do, eating what I wanted to eat.
He's still just a fucking
I
kid.
tried so hard. Why won't you give me this? I hate you. I hate you, Velvet.
I want world domination!
I tried really hard.
But you don't need to. You don't need to throw a tantrum. Stupid bitch.
Oh, wait, what?
What?
It's time for us to rest.
No, are they gonna do what I didn't want?
What? Are they just gonna randomly kill Velvet for no reason?
Wait, is she gonna consume him?
Oh, well, because if Innominat dies, then all the Therians die, right?
I think so. Wait, what's happening? Is this like an Ouroboros kind
What
of
are you
thing?
doing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So that's it. Velvet will let Innominat devour her forever, with her forever devouring him in return.
What?
She will seal him while keeping him alive. An infinite contradiction. A perpetual cycle of destruction. Velvet, you can't!
You and I are part of Innominat, V. If he dies, both of us will die too. I dug my own grave. But
No, you did this shit with Zilia too. I am.
I don't care about myself. I'm not scared of dying as long as I'm with you.
Oh, how'd you throw that? Where'd it come from?
good.
Just hear a t-shirt cannon sound.
But only after eating, living, doing everything you want to in life.
Velvet, you never even got a chance to do that. God damn it.
I really am horrible, aren't I? Just a selfish failure of a human being. But despite all that, you still saved me. With your unwavering kindness and strength.
So dumb.
I didn't do anything. Velvet, you were the one who...
Fee, you must have seen it during our travels.
So it's like if two snakes tried to eat each other and they just kept going.
Yeah, it's like, I guess
That's
that
why they end up
fucking
making so many mistakes.
snake eating its own tail kind of thing. I don't know.
Even my poor brother.
It looks dumb and visually.
That's
And
why.
It looks
is
dumb with
I'm
people.
asking this of you. Please live. I was. the
Oh, I
cause
feel like
of
this is
so much
exactly what they
chaos
did with
and
Zilia
destruction.
2 with L.
Help the world I ruined.
Yep, they did.
Help people like me.
Save Desolation
Help
from
the weak.
its ironic name.
This is my last selfish request.
That's not fair!
Stop
Actually,
it!
I mean, if you read D&D
Truly
books, it's also I
Sorry.
believe, the gold dragon and the red dragon. The gold dragon wraps himself around the red dragon and turns himself to stone, forever keeping the last red dragon in check. When the gold dragon kills itself, they both fall and they drown.
I forgive you!
I don't know, he ate the apple. Pretty hardcore.
I love you!
Thank you. I.
Really wish the
I love
expressions
you
were a
too.
little bit more on point there, but you know, it's fine. I love you too, Fee.
Oh man.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh no.
She just bites onto his ankle and he bites
this
onto
is
her
exactly
ankle.
what
and
I
then
didn't
they
want.
They just spin around in a circle. Just float up spinning around in a circle
Oh,
forever.
Here all by herself. Humans contain more surprises than I expected.
Who the hell is that?
Relax. These are the 4 elemental
Oh.
Empyreans.
Now you show up. Pretty irresponsible if you ask me.
You were mistaken. Without Innominat, the balance of our power will crumble.
The elements will clash in violence and ruin.
Oh,
The
Teresa's
world
back.
will take millennia to recover from the destruction.
Oh, you know what? It's got the voice of all the souls that were used to wake it.
Ew.
To save the world from
Yeah, there's
destruction,
Melchior.
a new Empyrean is needed. A monarch of great strength and indomitable.
Oh, is
Oh no.
Tellus?
Oh no.
That's not what Velvet wants you to do, buddy.
Laphicet.
I'll be your new Empyrean.
Wait, what?
Hold on a second, Laphicet. You can't just...
Let's hear him out.
You know, before we as
I don't wanna
parents
do
tell
it.
him no.
You're not lacking in strength. But the question here is one of your intent.
Just what do you wish for this world? What will you bring unto its denizens?
I want to give apples to everyone. That's it. Yes, apples.
I want people to have another chance. A chance for them to right the wrongs born of their fallible spirits.
And apples.
To give those who dream of flying the time they need to rest their wings.
We don't understand metaphors.
Their weakness,
Just
their cruelty,
speak
their
literally,
punishment.
please.
These imperfect humans will one day stretch their wings toward the horizon.
Fucking Lofset, don't do this.
Oh no, that's not what Velda
no.
wanted.
No.
Wait, no. Wait, what's happening?
Lofset, what are you doing?
I don't know. It's the flames of purification?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh man.
That's fucked up.
Animation. Okay. What's happening?
He's got a patch on his eye. You
Whoever's
can
laughing.
see.
Oh man.
Fuck.
Oh. Aw. What?
Is that her brother?
No, everybody's turning back. Who's the demon? It looks like they're just turning back into people.
Yeah, you just see the wolf laying down, you know, and then he turns back.
Smiley face.
And he's just like,
oh, Dial!
As long as
Is Dial gonna be a guy again?
What? No way.
Holy
it's
shit!
Glenn!
He's adorable!
It's Glenn!
Oh my god!
Oh, she's so cute. Oh, they're both adorable!
The dogs!
The dogs and the
turn
bird!
back. Oh, Griffin!
Yay!
That makes me really happy.
Kamalana did not die. Color me
Oh,
surprised.
he still has a shirt on!
I owe you 100 gals.
Oh man.
Why is he so mismatched? Get a different jacket at least if you're gonna wear a
Fucking
jacket.
idiot.
At least we know he does. Oh no, there were all those the four of them.
We're really back on the ground.
Back on my feet.
Wait, then what?
The Dragon of Light.
Oh. Oopsie.
Good grief. Velvet's recklessness rubbed off on him. Hasn't it, Laphicet?
Huh?
What is happening?
Is that really Laphicet?
He's a pretty cool dragon.
He's an Empyrean now.
He's like a chill dragon.
That is his Empyrean form.
That's literally the opposite of what Velda wanted him to do, though.
Determination.
Like an oath?
Oh.
Yes. Do I frighten you now, Eleanor?
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Yeah, you're weird.
Not at all.
Ah!
Gonna need a bigger vessel. She runs
what's
away.
that, Flame? Your true power is an Empyrean?
Sorry, I can't be your vessel anymore. Bye.
Did that fire get rid of it all?
No. I'm still very much a demon.
Oh, because you were not
It
on
is
the
face
planet.
paint.
Power to cleanse the soul of its malevolence
Face paint.
and change a demon back
Wow.
into a human. But it doesn't have the power to change people's hearts.
So you're an
It just
asshole.
gives them another chance at life. Isn't that right?
Sorry. Looks like my sins run too deep to fix.
Wow, you're so edgy.
It's a part of who you are, Rokuro.
Oh, the tiny little baby
You're still
voice coming out of the.
adopted.
It's like the dragon
Well,
from
that's just great.
that game that I never
Most of
finished.
the exorcists are wiped out.
Yes.
The evil and chaos in people's hearts lives on.
What is it called? Wow.
Gonna be tough going from
Drakengard.
here on out,
Drakengard,
folks.
I totally missed what she said.
It will. Even still. Humanity will never lose its hope or its prayers for a better future. Well said!
The Malachim have free will again. Some may even lend you their aid to help create this ideal future of yours.
I will spread
Not
the
to the
word.
next game.
This
The
world
last
is
game.
now under the protection of the Empyrean Laphicet. Would you mind not calling me that? I don't think it really fits
so
who I
big.
am now.
How about
With
feet?
that voice, yeah.
I know.
I guess you're right. That was Velvet's name for you.
Speaking of
Okay, what
Velvet,
should we call you then?
No, tell us.
Yeah. Is she just in space now?
One who lives. That's what Laphicet means. Translated into the ancient language.
Is it Maltalis?
whoa.
I don't know.
Ah, they're all just standing there. Ah!
Oh, yeah, really?
Ah!
It's
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Get fucked.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Oh.
interesting art there.
Okay.
So we just left her in space?
Yeah, she's just forever eating.
She's
and-
out there with Madoka.
You know, if you asked me at the beginning of
Wow.
the game, how do you think the game would end?
So I was like, guys,
wouldn't,
I
like,
have this one fucking
Probably
request.
my
and they're
10th
like,
to
no.
11th theory is Velvet eats Laphicet, and Laphicet eats Velvet at the same time forever.
That was not my guess. Stop showing me that.
It's weird. Bamco, what the fuck? I gotta say, it's like gotta be the weirdest ending. Like, I expected it to be really sad, but at the same time, just like...
Aww.
What?
I'm still amazed that our Therian friends made it through the game without dying.
Yeah.
They're gonna do that in between each one, aren't they?
Stop. Stop it.
Great.
Oh, that wasn't a
man.
good ending.
Could it have been worse?
I feel
Yes,
like
it could have been a lot worse.
the
I mean,
fucking
it made
Laphicet turning
sense.
into Mautellus, like a lot of people called that.
Yeah.
The in between. Got
Stop!
confused.
I say don't know how to end anything. Huh.
Bamco.
I had a great idea for an ending, and that was, you know, everyone's okay at the end, and they live lives, and their normal lives, and it's great.
He didn't like that ending.
No
So-
one likes that ending. It would be too nice, I guess.
So mommy. Well, I mean, Vesperia ended like that. Grace's
We
ended like
did
that.
tickle a
Symphonia
giant
ended like that.
Space octopus in Vesperia. However,
But it was still a better ending than this. Symphonia.
did it make that much
Zillia,
sense, like,
Abyss.
coherently with the beginning of the game for Vesperia?
Oh yeah, well sure,
though?
people died in Abyss, so I mean whatever. But they're NPCs. Grace's. How did Hearts end? Was
Hearts?
everyone fine at the end of Hearts?
Actually, give me a sec. No, but the character that wasn't okay was not a combat character. It was a character that was in your party constantly, like Phone Master Ion, but was not a combat character. And I personally did not care for them. So,
Okay. So that was a good ending.
wait, what? How is that possible?
What?
What?
That's Magilou defending Velvet and Laphicet from a demon.
Regular old Laphicet?
Yeah, wait, I'm confused. No, go back to that last
Yeah,
picture, please.
these have all just been like images of Laphicet and Velvet.
Yeah, but why is Magilou with them as
Uh,
regular people? Maybe they don't remember her?
maybe there's like a regular Velvet and Laphicet now.
Like human? Wait, okay, hold on a sec.
Oh wait, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be...
Okay, please stop showing that. They're just like rubbing it in. They're like, look at this stupid ending we made.
No, like we drew it several times, so they're in rotation. Yeah, look!
And then there's Ifrit in the background.
Ifrit, why is... He's dead.
Didn't we? Yeah, we killed Ifrit.
And Eisen never met them when they were human.
I am so confused.
What's happening? Do I need to...
Is they
Did I
having like a
miss
fever
something?
dream as they're eating each other? Or something?
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe she's like imparting, like, oh, this is all the cool fun we could have had if you weren't a huge jerk. Oh, just kidding. If Artorias wasn't a huge jerk.
This is so sad. I mean...
Damn it.
Remember when I was like, this could be one of the best Tales of games.
Until the ending.
Oh, and there's Shigure and Rakuro
Yeah,
having
and
a
Sugar is
drink.
definitely dead.
They're just drinking a drink right there.
So what are these from? Because normally
And
when
look
they
at
put
her
these-
outfit. It looked like it was before it got creamed, that
Yeah,
outfit.
oh, it's not the same one that she had at the beginning of the game. It's a completely
No,
different
yeah,
outfit.
but it looks like it's the belted area up here, and it's all
Yeah.
covered.
Oh, it's like the same, like
It's
where
the one
what
that
it must have
got
been at one point in
shredded.
its life. Yeah.
That outfit is
Yep,
the one
I'm
that
so
got shredded.
confused. I'm
Yeah,
so
there's Teresa
confused.
and Oscar and Velvet and Laphicet and Eleanor.
That was the-
That's definitely
yeah.
not gonna make any sense.
It's like we missed something in the middle.
I don't know, because usually when they do these drawings
Stop.
at the end credits, it's like, oh, this is what happens after the game ends. And it'll show like, oh, this is the party meeting up.
Maybe
and...
if he had like a god arm or something, and he didn't have to like actually bite things to consume it.
Yeah, that was poor.
That was a weird decision.
There's a lot of poor choices there.
It reminds me of that vampire show where the vampire kid, and like it was really edgy, and they're all the children who died.
What?
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
We watched like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, and it was just so hilarious.
What
we had
was
to keep
it
watching.
called? I would remember.
I don't
Who
care,
cares?
honestly. I just remember that show being.
Yeah, well, we watched
That
like
was so bad.
a decent amount of it before. Oh, yeah, and then there's Grimoire.
Look, there's Grimoire over there.
And I'm looking at the
Velvet
dolls.
Chan.
It looks like they're actually traveling. Like this was the dream, like that they would travel around the world.
Yeah, I guess so.
So maybe it's just an imagination thing. Like they're just imagining, like, oh, this could have happened,
Yeah, I guess so.
and then horrible stuff happened instead.
Instead, it's Velvet holding a naked child in space. While she is also naked for some reason there. So they find the Rhinostagros. Oh boy. Yeah, Rhinostagros doesn't have anyone to take care of
We
it.
didn't get a little animation of the Rhinostagros turning back into a regular fucking beetle. That's the real tragedy here.
Yeah, really. Rhinostagros the best character.
Well, they always do an after
That
thing,
was
so I'm gonna
still better than Zisteria.
Yeah.
wait. As a
Zillion.
whole.
Yeah, at the end of Zisteria, everything was fine too.
I am coming to terms with the, oh, well, you know, we both kind of fucked up, so I guess we'll both kind of take care of each other kind of thing. But I just think it's portrayed strangely, and I didn't want that, so I'm still mad. Because we did find out that Laphicet sacrificed himself in the very, very beginning. It was sort of his consent to do it, because
Yeah.
he knew he was going to die.
Yeah.
So he kind of fucked up by doing that. And then,
he didn't fuck
you know,
up. He was just like, I'm gonna die
Velvet
anyway.
kind
I'm
of
4
fucked
years
up by
old.
taking revenge way too far.
But they never told Velvet that he had the 12-year sickness.
No, it was like one of those things where it's like, well, if you just fucking like who's
Oh, that's
Fee.
Laphicet. We've decided to name him Laphicet. Oh, that's not gonna be confusing.
No, definitely not. So I guess they both like I don't know, sort of repented for their mistakes, but it just sucks. Like, is this forever now?
Yep. Oh, look, it's Rose. That looks a lot like
they're
Rose.
getting older.
Laphicet looks a lot like Rose in that picture. Just saying.
Yeah, he does.
Please, they keep
So, wait,
spinning around.
In the context of Zisteria, because a lot of people fucking played this and finished it, and then they were like, man, fuck Zisteria. So what did we do in Zisteria that, I mean, obviously,
Maybe
like,
it's a whole Eisen
Saray
thing.
is chilling with, yeah, well, 100% that, but he's chilling with Natellis for a long time. Because it's basically the same ending. Oh, you're laying on the floor. Rita's gonna get on top of me. She's on top of me. Oh, there's the last picture.
What is it?
So it's actually okay.
Oh, it's
I'm trying. Oh, here we go. After the credits.
Is this the ray flashing on screen?
Yeah, right?
This is not the end of chaos. It is the beginning. Mankind will go on fighting without end.
So those guys have no fucking clue that Rocker is actually helping them out. That's cool. Good for him, actually.
Just as they did.
Oh, I can't see him, but he's there.
just as they did. For every laugh, there will be tears.
I'm surprised she's still wearing the uniform, to be honest.
I think they're fighting over her.
That's right. She was proposed to numerous times throughout the game.
She was, really?
Oh my gosh! Oh. Tabitha's okay too.
Will be matched by love.
A lot of these are fucking clips from the opening.
This world is cruel and unforgiving.
Shows a picture of the Emperor.
Hey, come on. Even the gods themselves don't know what the future will bring.
Oh, what's his name? Like flowers? Melchior?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I will always believe in them.
Is she able to feel again?
In humanity, both strong and weak. In humanity, both fearsome and kind. The day will finally come when your dream becomes reality. Until then,
She's not dead.
No.
I will kindle a flame within me, burning
She's just
strong and
in
bright.
purgatory forever.
We're gonna have another game. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Assyrian.
Well, they haven't announced the next Tales game.
I will live.
And I should I'll tell you something when it's all over. Ah!
What?
Oh, thank you.
Yay. Save it.
Yeah.
I know that. Sorry, new. Either one.
Or I'll do, well, I can save over the Marshio one. I don't think we fucked anything up over there. Well, fuck it. I got space. So they haven't announced the next game. And some of the things that they released were like, oh, Velvet's Adventure isn't over yet, or something like that. And I'm like, are they going for a trilogy thing, or like there's another title that sort of finishes it up? I don't know. I mean, I really not.
I mean, this will be new. Trilogy. We don't know whether or not Tales of games can be good in the third part of the series.
Yeah.
I don't see it getting much better, honestly.
Yeah, it was weak. That sucked.
It was a very weak ending.
Yeah, I guess maybe the feeling of going into the final fight and not really knowing what we were trying to accomplish was probably my first clue. So I guess I'm not as disappointed as initially I could be. And I've also thought about this game a lot. Whereas with Wisteria, I didn't really think about it that much before it came out. With Berseria, I was thinking about sort of like all the ways I could be disappointed. So I guess I'm not as super heartbroken. I'm still super disappointed, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
I don't know why they had to do the weird... Okay, my problem is right now is that the whole reason Velvet did that whole weird making out with her brother thing for the rest of eternity is because she wanted Laphicet to be okay.
Yeah. And to live a normal life.
Instead, Laphicet decided to become an Empyrean immediately afterward. So instead of doing that weird making out with her brother thing forever, she could have just accepted the fact that she was going to die after killing a Nominat, killed a Nominat, and then, like, Laphicet becomes an Empyrean during that, or, like, maybe he decides that he's going to become an Empyrean before that all happens.
It literally could have happened.
And then, so Velvet dies, which, I mean, is shitty, but she's dead, and instead of being alive in purgatory for fucking ever, which is even worse.
See, that's what I was hoping. Hot or cold, not lukewarm.
Really purgatory?
Well, it's not purgatory.
It's not purgatory, it's just being alive and not feeling anything or doing anything forever.
Living.
Yeah, which is worse, in my opinion.
Being alive and not living, which is basically what they did to Sarai, too.
It's like being in a coma forever, except you're also conscious, which is even worse.
Forever, yeah.
It's just the worst.
You have been hair from sitting on the floor. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Please look in the mirror before it goes away.
Did you look in the mirror? Look in the mirror.
Your face is how I feel. No, I completely agree with you. So it's sort of like, well, why did Velvet do what she did? I mean, other than her.
Yeah.
But it does line up.
Velvet should have moved past the fact that Anominat is not actually Laphicet. She needed to understand that, and I felt like she did, and then at the end she was like, well, also I'm going to make him live forever as well, because I think he's still my Laphicet. And it's like, no! Did you not learn? Oh, that was my comb. That's obviously a fake! They're not the same!
It could have been that, in essence it's still him, even if he doesn't actually remember. And it was a job only Velvet could do. Also, let me just say this, because I know you're, like, getting riled up. It does line up with their whole, like, I'm me and I make my own decisions kind of thing. Uh-huh. So Velvet wanted to do this. She did it. She was like, hey, Laphicet, it would be really super cool. It's like my one fucking request if you would actually just live a normal life, because I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
He didn't, because he chose not to. So it does kind of line up with, okay, I can see why their wishes kind of diverged there for that reason, but it doesn't make me happy.
No, it's stupid. It's dumb.
It's dumb.
Fucking stupid. Because, they fucking love each other, right? And fucking Laphicet,
Did she ever say it back?
No, she never.
I expected her to
because she's just like, oh, whatever, I have this Laphicet now. But anyway, what's fucking stupid is that they go through the game and they're just like, oh, whatever. Sometimes Molochs can get their memories back. Yeah. And it's weird. And then they point out, and then it's like, yeah, that's weirdly convenient. And usually when like a story does that, when they point out that something's really weird and convenient, it's not like they're actually pointing out that they have bad writing, which they did here because they didn't actually back it up with any evidence, but it's usually because it's like, oh, it's actually this reason why they're getting their memories back, yada, 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 and then they have, like, this whole explanation thing, and then it makes consistent sense in their story.
They could have even been like...
But they never explained it.
Yeah. Well, they could have been like, oh, when you reach a certain level of power, because Celica, who regained her memories back, was close to Artorias, and she was with him for a long fucking time before she got her memories back. So she probably attained a certain level. Like, they could have easily been like, oh, this is how it happens. Because Innominat, obviously, is very powerful as well. Yeah. And then it would be like, oh, shit, like, even just a small thing. It could also be that when Malachim are reborn, they aren't typically in the presence of the area they were in or the people they knew. It might take a really long time. Like, maybe it's really unusual that they would find any artifacts from their old lives or people from their old lives who would know them. Mm-hmm. That would trigger that sort of response as well. But they don't provide that as an explanation. So it's sort of like, yeah, I can kind of fudge it up, but I mean, you could have too. I don't know. Yeah, and I agree, it just kind of makes everything that Velvet did seem really kind of useless.
Yeah.
I really didn't expect the Therians to survive, so that's cool.
They go on throughout the whole game explaining that Molochs are definitely different from their human forms, demons are definitely different from their human forms, and then at the end of the game, Velvet's just like, oh, Inominat, you who tried to kill our whole party like several times. I'm gonna make you live forever with me, because you're like my brother and have his memories.
It's like an Old Yeller kind of thing. No, Dad, I'll do it. It's my dog.
And then instead, Old Yeller bites the boy, and the boy bites the dog, and forever.
They're just forever
and they just float
fighting
off
each
in his
other.
face.
Yeah, does that fucking teleport thing still work or what?
Yeah, no, they just dip back into reality. I'm guessing because fucking lobster. Yeah, they didn't even have a fucking escape plan, honestly. They weren't like...
No, like, hey, what if this whole thing falls apart after we kill him?
Yeah, because, I mean, it is kind of made by a Nominat, and if we kill him, you know, he probably won't keep it. Maybe they should have talked about that a little bit, instead of just, you know, maybe we might actually fall to Earth. Oops.
I was kind of hoping that we would kick Artorias off of it and he would have to flap his arms like a little bird.
Oh my god.
But, you know, I think the way he died was pretty cool anyway. That was a really awesome cutscene. I really like the fight scenes at the end, were pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty
I just wish they meant more.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of wish I knew what I was fighting for. Like,
what am I fighting for?
really, all we did was Laphicet kind of gave a free pass to everyone who is currently a demon, like, just from the demon blight and out of their own sort of, I guess, personality problems. And then it kept the world the same, whereas Artorias would have rebooted the whole planet or whatever. And maybe that was the point, is like showing us that the world could be so fucking cruel at the very beginning, and then with Velvet learning that, oh, well, maybe it's not so bad, and then wanting to, you know, fighting to keep it the way it was. Maybe that's how. It was so ham-handed, though. Not ham-handed, it was clumsy. That's the word I'm looking for.
I'm just...
I knew I'd be disappointed, but part of me was still like, maybe we'll actually fucking do something neato. And then I can see why, Evan saw where they were going with it, looked it up, and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna finish that later. Oh. As far as the game goes, though, like, barring the ending and the disappointing conclusion.
It's a big part of it, but, you know, we'll bar it for now.
I mean, we played, like, a lot of these games, like you mentioned, haven't had super great endings.
Yeah, but...
I liked...
You do remember throughout this... Janine, I want you to go back through the whole series again. Future Janine. And remember all the times I said that the game...
I don't want it to end with naked Velvet and Laphicet hugging in space.
Yeah, well, that specifically. Several times I've said that. But, as well as the fact that
dude.
this game is walking a very thin line, and it could either, you know, end really well, or it could fall on its face and fucking fuck everything up really easily. I think it did that.
Yeah.
And I'm a little sad about that. Like, it didn't fall as badly as I thought. Like, there was a safety net where I didn't think there was one, but, I mean, it could have been my favorite Tales of game. I think it was on its track, honestly, there. And then it was just kind of like...
I was thinking my standards were too fucking high for a really long time. Like, I really, like, you know, obviously, one of my favorite games to play is Vesperia. Because the characters mean so much to me. They all interconnect as a party. They're all very close.
Mm-hmm.
The story is goofy
I felt
and
that,
silly,
like,
but
familial,
I like it
like,
anyway.
thing, like, it was getting there at the end, but it never got there.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I'm wondering if I've just, you know, through rose-colored glasses set my standards too high. I was really so in love with this game, you know, for a long time since it was announced, and then later through you know, little trailers and stuff, little tidbits of information they gave us. So I was very much looking forward to this game, despite the fact that I definitely raised the bar really high because I was so hyped for such a long time.
Yeah.
I still feel like I had a very good time. I still don't know
Yeah.
if it'll top my fave, but I still really like this title, and I like
put
the
it
chemistry in the
really
party.
close to Zillia in my.
Yeah.
I think right now my initial thoughts. I haven't really molded over yet, but
it got more of the time that Zillia should have had put into it.
yeah, definitely.
Which it makes the party benefit completely from that. I think that they were pretty well okay. They just weren't as close as I would like them to be.
I think the main problem of this game is that it had the perfect setup to have like a perfect family, of team coming together. But the problem with the game itself is thematically it's supposed to be about finding your own path in life and being individualistic and
so it's hard exactly. It's hard to
being
make
alone, and it's just. But these characters they all start out alone and then they end alone.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a problem if these people were, like, super, Like, Eleanor was the only one that was, like... The only character that I think started out well because she had the whole, like, oh, I'm a part of the church, and then my whole view of the world has been changed, and now I'm alone. Like, and now I'm gonna do and think for myself.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. All the other characters started alone, and then they're just like, yep, nothing changed, we're all the same. And I feel like this could be... They could have just changed it up and been, like... All these characters are alone, selfish. They want to be, fucking loners, and then they find something they want to fight for, and that's one another or each other or opposite.
What?
Have them come together as a group.
Yeah, it easily. I feel like it coulda, shoulda, woulda, but. The thing with Artorias and Velvet having their little speech at the end was Artorias had this horrible thing happen and was hell-bent on just wiping the whole world clean because he was like, oh, it's Velvet, it's terrible,
Oh, yeah,
the world was awful.
Kind of stupid.
Let me just wipe the slate clean. Velvet was easily the same way at the beginning of the game because she lost everything. She didn't care if she got hurt. She didn't care if she hurt other people.
Mm-hmm.
She just wanted to get this thing done and just avenge. But then she, as being with the party... she needed a reason to not want to end the world. Otherwise she would just let
Well, she didn't want to end the world, she just wanted to kill Artorias.
Yeah, it's pretty much what she wanted.
And that never changed.
It didn't change. She accomplished her goal. But... Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It would have been stronger if they had her be like, okay, well...
Maybe I don't need to kill Artorias. Or maybe... I want to kill Artorias, but to save the world rather than for my own selfish goal, which I feel like they kind of went for, but I feel like all the other characters didn't really have much of a reason to kill Artorias.
No.
Like, Magilu, she's obviously, like, a tsundere. She's just like, oh, I'm not a part of your party because I want to save the world or anything.
She's a cat.
And then she does, but then at the end of the game, they're just still showing her as being alone, and, like, she didn't really have a good reason for it.
No, she wasn't super motivated
Eleanor
to do
did,
it.
Aizen didn't. I mean, Aizen is kind of like just wanted to save the world, I guess, and Rockcrow is like, I have to fight this guy because he's really strong, and I want to beat him because he's strong.
A lot of them were kind of out for some kind of vengeance. Like, it was, sort of Melchior's, it was because of Melchior that Magilu was all messed up, so she kind of got her vengeance, and he was part of Artorias' squad.
But, like, if they were friends and they all wanted to help Velvet defeat Artorias because she wants to save the world or whatever, yada yada yada, then that would make more sense.
They didn't have, like, I feel like in a lot of the Tales games, there's, like, that talk that everybody has with each other, where they, like, kind of go, yeah, this is the final fight, this is why I'm fighting. Like, again, I'm going to make an example of Vesperia, but they have the characters kind of go off in little pairs and talk about, like, the reasons that they're going into this and taking all these risks.
They had skits, but they weren't, about the fight, they were just about random shit.
They were like, oh yeah, I've come so far as a character.
Like, oh, haha, Magilu, you're helping us.
Yeah. Whereas
reasons.
in Vesperia it was like, yeah, I can't, we're gonna do this together, despite our differences, and this is why I'm motivated to do it. That kind of thing.
It's not about my own personal goal anymore. It's about us defeating Duke or whatever, yada yada.
Yeah, and it wasn't even in Vesperia. It wasn't even really defeating Duke. It was just sort of like, well, my ideals are stronger than yours.
Yeah. Fucking okay. Listen, I know. Wait, no, a lot of people didn't like Zillia, right?
I think it had a lot of people liked it. I don't know.
I liked it.
I haven't seen a lot of hate for Zillia. Except that one weird guy in Viper's.
I think Zillia's got to be the strongest ending, in my opinion, because
it was very...
The characters...
It made sense.
Gaius and Muse were understandable. Like, they were people that were like, oh, they're doing it their way, and then we're doing it our way.
Yeah, it's exactly what kind of Vesperia had too. Was like,
Yeah.
oh well, I would like to do it this way, and then Yuri and Fam being like,
Except it was kind of jumping the shark at that point. But
yeah, it did go from like an intricate political conflict to saving the world from a giant space octopus.
Yeah.
But I love that game. But anyway.
I just gotta say, Zillia did have a stronger ending.
Grace's had a really focused ending too. Zillia did.
Yeah, well, Grace's also didn't go very complicated. It had a very solid plot because it was very linear.
Sometimes better, I guess.
Yeah,
but
it was just like, yeah, we're all friends and we're fighting this guy because we're all friends with him, and we want him to be our friend again.
It makes me upset because I'm
Grace so much.
I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm gonna hate myself when I go back to this and I'm talking over you. But
I'm sorry. No, I'm talking over you like 90% of the time.
You're fine.
So you just have a counter on the bottom. I mean, it's a completely white screen, so you can just put like a little counter number of times James has interrupted me and number of times you've interrupted me.
Hey, that's how we communicate.
We have a lot of things to say.
We do, yeah. We'll get them all out eventually. I'll probably still have shit to say like a week from now.
Yeah, probably.
I'm still gonna be thinking about this. But the thing about Zillia's ending, like, it was good. Mila was around, she was like in her 20s. She actually got to grow up and like live a life into her 20s. It was relatively normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then she became a god, and it was like all totally like part of the plan. And she was like, well, I thought I was a god anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
And then she has that whole. So it kind of felt more well-rounded for her character as a protagonist to do the world sacrificing thing. Jude, protagonist, gets to go ahead and just live a normal life. Velvet had a really shitty life.
Mm-hmm.
She lost both her parents. She lost her sister's unborn kid. She lived with her brother-in-law, who was like never home. She raised Laphicet pretty much. Then she loses her arm and goes to prison and loses 3 more years.
She had a Homer life.
She did. And then all at the end, it comes to nothing. She didn't get so. She's like, oh, I really wish Laphicet would live a life. This is exactly what I was fucking afraid of.
She
never got a regular life.
She never gets anything.
She's a Homer of this game.
Janine, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to compare her to the Homer of this game.
Well, they have the same dub voice actress. I mean,
they do? Really?
They
true.
do.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was like, oh, Christina V, she'll be great because she was an amazing Homer. Especially Rebellion where she needs range.
And then imagine instead at the end of the game,
should I change my bumper sticker on my car to it could be worse.
Velvet?
It could be Velvet.
Yeah. Okay, no, just imagine the end of this game instead. That Velvet turns like full demon or goes crazy or whatever because
that would even be more entertaining.
And then she attacks our party, right?
Oh,
and then after that, after the game's over, everyone hates Velvet online, even though it was not her fault at all.
So I think we're talking about Monica now.
I'm sorry, just saying. Pancake. Okay. Anyway.
And all you Homer haters that I know I have as friends. Oh man.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're right though.
But anyway, back to Tales.
It would still be more.
It would still be more
interesting than what we actually got from this game.
Yeah. Right.
I loved the mini games returning. I loved all the shout-outs to all their titles.
All the tiny details.
The battle system,
fucking fantastic.
I'm already really excited to play on a harder difficulty.
Background characters, great.
I still want to play it again.
The battle system was great, but I wish there was a character that's more dedicated to being a support healer.
Yeah, that's true. No, I completely agree with you.
I mean, I guess I can see what they're going for because like usually when you have that character, you're kind of like tied down to have them in your party at all times. But
if you're playing as them, it's really fun.
I feel like they could have had a character that was like a buff character that didn't heal or whatever.
There was no Leia. Leia was like, she did buffs, she did a tiny bit of DPS, and then she did like healing, and it was fun. She was so middle of the road, and it's like they completely eliminated that class. They've had it in a lot of the games. Like Rapide was that character earlier. But yeah.
There's never a reason to have Rocker on the party.
Like story-wise or battle-wise?
Battle-wise. There's never... Well, I mean... Well,
you mentioned...
Okay.
You mentioned,
well,
I think,
actually
off
a little
recording.
Bit of both.
But... you mentioned earlier that it would have been nicer to have his counter later in the game when characters actually attacked you and did tons of damage, and I do agree with that, but... I mean, I guess they were just like, here's the thing. It's a different thing.
Oh, how will he play? He's a fighter, just like Velvet, except he's not as strong and he has a counter. And then we have Aizen, who's like earth and wind spells and life spells, and he can cure fucking slow, which is very common. And he's got physical damage, and he's got knockdowns, and he's got a huge amount of DPS with this thing. And then we got Magilu, who counters spellcasters really, really well, with along his fire and water spells, and a lot of different mines that, cover the field and let her defend herself while she's fighting, and it's pretty much just DPS as well. But, I mean, she's got all that, and she's got
a lot
healing
of
circle,
interesting different types
and she's
of
got fairy
spells.
circle, so she's got big heals.
It's not like the way magic casting was in Systeria, where it was pretty much just the same fucking spell, but like different colors or whatever.
Yeah. And then you got Laphicet, who's a big healer. He doesn't revive anyone, but he's got his break soul, which halves damage taken from everyone around him, and he's got the water mines, and he's got the extra. He's like another DPS, but he's got heals, and he's got the elixir vitae, which takes away all status ailments. And then you got frickin' Eleanor, who also has life, also has magic DPS spells. I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually, I'm gonna intertwine both, because like the way you're saying, oh, he's like Velvet because he doesn't have a support skill. Velvet doesn't have any support skills, but she's just stronger.
Yeah.
Is completely true. They have the same story. Remember earlier I was like, oh, they're basically the same characters?
In story, she's
that
the
must
same,
mean
except stronger.
Their stories had take a different turn at some point and become different.
Yeah.
And they never do.
That would have been so interesting!
They never do! Like, I'm like, well, they obviously need to have one go down the low road and one take the high road
what
to
if
show
they both had, like, come to a crossroad,
like a divergence in
and then
their
fucking
characters.
Rockro ends up, like dying or something, and then Velvet sees the fucking...
Aizen was fucking amazing. I really liked him.
Yeah.
Magilo, I learned to love.
Yeah, I learned to like her.
I wish her subquests were a little bit more important, because I felt like her character could have been really, really amazing.
Yeah, I wish she had...
Eleanor and Rockro are, like, wasted potential.
I would say Eleanor is pretty good, but they didn't, like...
They really could have pushed that more than they did, because
when
immediately
she was
joined the party,
developing,
we were so,
a lot of shit was happening in the story, so she was just like, oh, my mind is blown by this, and everyone's just like, shut up, we're going through the story still.
I know you're having a thing, Eleanor, but
Eleanor's just
the
sitting
world.
in the chair in the corner, just like, I need to think about this.
Well, like we're talking, and they have opinions.
Okay, listen, so remember...
We had
Janine, roll back the footage again. I'm not actually being serious when I say roll back the footage.
That's the reason I bring it up, is like we literally just rewatched that part where she joins the party and we're all talking about our hopes and dreams for her character and how easy it could have been.
Yeah.
And I just feel like
my
it wasn't
idea
enough.
of the game, actually, too, if we were to have the whole, like, everyone's an individual and then they come together to be, like, a big party at the end, and they're actually fighting for other people, not just themselves now. Eleanor would probably be the main character, honestly, because she's, like, somebody who, like, maybe they start out the game, she discovers how corrupted the church she's been working for is, and then she's, like, lost all hope for being in a group. And then, she gets all these people together, and I don't know.
But it wouldn't be a new story. It wouldn't be something different.
Yeah, but I mean...
And I also can understand...
It would have different characters, and a different world, and a cool battle system, and...
It could be like a similar world,
and a female main character.
That's true. I still...
Just saying.
That's true. But I can also see why they would want to push a character like Eleanor to the side a little bit after with Alicia and everybody being so dramatic. Which kind of sucks, because I really don't want that to be a real reason why that may have happened, but I partly suspect, because I have no faith in humanity. Although on that female protagonist, I think they did a really good job.
Yeah.
I really like how
Velvet
they wrote her.
was the most interesting character, I gotta say. Yeah, she is the most interesting character.
She goes through a lot of really good changes.
Which makes the ending even more saltier in my mouth.
Because she deserved better.
Yeah.
Much better. But yeah, they kept there were like sex jokes in there. It wasn't that bad at all.
No.
The fucking, they treat her outfit, they didn't ignore her outfit, and they didn't make it like a sexy object kind of thing. They think they treated it very well, where people were like, hey, and she was like, you shouldn't even be fucking looking. And then that was it. It wasn't like a joke like, haha, women. It was like no, you really shouldn't be looking. That's kind of wrong. So that was kind of nice. I
think she just didn't care that people were looking at her, honestly.
She barks at Rockro for even mentioning it earlier in the game, and the only reason I know is, again, because I've been going through the footage, like, over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know,
I thought they handled it well. I'll just put it
that
that way.
I thought they handled it well as well.
as far as
I
her
think it's-
design is
I
concerned.
think it's kind of
Her
weird
character,
that
they
if
did
she cares
amazing.
and is bothered by people looking at her like that, then why doesn't she just change clothes? I think she just doesn't care, honestly. She's a demon, so she might not even feel, any sexual feelings towards anybody. So she's just like, whatever, or embarrassment or whatever. So I just think she just doesn't care, honestly.
Well, I think they also established early on that, like, Rockro was the one that didn't really feel, like, feelings.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like it never came up again.
And that could have been a really good
And then
existential
Magilu was like, wait,
thing
no,
going
actually,
on.
I can't feel anything. Because
And
I've literally been broken.
You know what? Eleanor was a more realistic depiction of that. I mean, not Eleanor, Magilu. Oh, wow. Magilu was a more realistic depiction of not having
was perfect
feelings.
for it.
She was comic relief. So she's just laughing off, like, not having emotions like it's a fucking joke. Like, she's just trying to connect with the peeps with emotions.
Yeah, like, she still was attempting.
Whereas Rockro was just like,
and then at the end, like, it's like, oh, why does everyone get this nice little, like, what happens after the story, and Magilu just laughing at Bienfu, and you're like, oh, she can actually, like, feel, like, legitimate emotion maybe again.
Maybe her heart is finally
maybe
fixed. I wish they weren't so vague with their backstory.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I wish they hadn't relegated, it all to the subquests, but I understand that they were trying to really, they were like, we're doing female protagonist, and we're going to do it really hardcore this time, and we're not going to just, cheat our way out of it by secretly having the game be about another character.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, saying that we're
this was definitely all about Velvet. But I feel like there wasn't a lot of change in the characters at all.
There was for Velvet.
I mean,
but as far as
Eisen, for example, he didn't change a fucking all.
The party needed a dad, and they were like, Eisen.
Yeah, but but they could have done it easily. They could have just been like, maybe this Reaper's Curse is something that, like, he finds a way to cure, and then during the side quest or whatever, it doesn't even matter if it's during the main quest, during the side quest he learns to accept that his Reaper's Curse is just a part of him at that point. But instead, it's sort of like he just never cared about the Reaper's Curse. And
he's already gotten over it by the time he joins. Maybe he just says it that way, and it's not really, but they should have made it more clear.
Yeah.
If that's the case, because it wasn't, I don't feel like it came off that clear. I do remember distinctly when we were playing, mentioning that everyone was like a stupid thing would happen. They'd be like, it's the Reaper's Curse. And they were making it into a joke. Like, they didn't really care about it, therefore probably making him feel better about it.
Yeah.
But we weren't even really sure it was bothering him that much to begin with.
I mean, it's very...
It seemed like when he joined the party, he was already kind of over it. And I'm like, whatever.
It's also kind of weird, because...
Like, fair warning, if you hang out with me,
all the characters are individualistic, right? That's their whole thing.
Yeah, being independent.
Yeah. Eisen has a crew, a ship, a group of pirates that he's always with, and they all accept him and love him, and so he's always a part of a party, pretty much, and he's fine with that, and then that just doesn't change at the end of the game. It's just, they can't see him now, but they're still cool with him being there.
They don't probably acknowledge him or know he's there.
Yeah.
But he knows he's there,
Maybe he develops this Reaper's Curse while he's on the ship, and and then he goes out to seek to cure it because he doesn't want to put his pirate buddies into danger, then he learns to accept it, and his pirate friends are all like, yeah, we're cool with that, bro, and then there's a development there, and they're friends again, and Eisen's life, he steers his own course through his own life. Because fuck the Reaper's Curse, am I right? I'm sorry.
No, I like it. I do remember when the game was first coming out, I was thinking, when the game ends, we're going to have to obviously see where he starts transforming into a dragon and what sparks that. We still don't really know. I mean, they definitely alluded to the fact that he was turning into a dragon, both with his moves and his, they kind of mention it, and he's like, I could turn tomorrow. But we still don't really know what actually turns him over.
Okay.
Or if it's just a slow descent.
How about this with Rockro? It's like Rockro versus Shigure. Shigure and Rockro both train equally, and Shigure just happened to be stronger at the beginning of their lives, so Shigure always beats him. And then Rockro realizes that Shigure is always alone, but he has his friends. And it's his friends is what makes him strong. And then Rockro defeats Shigure because he's got a whole party of people.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
They
didn't really say anything about it. It was just like, after that battle, it was like, Rockro beat him. That was it. Rockro beat him. Not
dealt
our
the
whole
final
party.
blow, and he was just like, good.
Yeah.
That was kind
Pretty
of
much. They never, like, emphasized the fact that, you know, Rockro coming to terms with, maybe I will never be as strong as Shigure.
I wish that had been
no matter
Velvet's
how hard I
conclusion.
work, I will not be as strong as Shigure, but because I have friends, you know, I can always fight past that, and I will always be as strong as we are together, you know?
Yeah.
And then that would be like a sweet little message. It's like, your friends are cool.
It's okay to depend on your friends.
Yeah, it's okay to depend on your friends.
Down. Yeah, if you need help.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
I mean,
feel like
it would be really JRPG and anime, but I don't care. Like, I just like that kind of story, and also it would develop Rocko's character some way.
Yeah, and I know they try to do like different things with the Tales games, and like I feel like in general though it's usually friendship, but it was clearly like, look, you know, you're gonna make a lot of fucking mistakes, and you're gonna have to deal with them, but this is, you know, how you can be like independent, make your own choices, and not have to rely on other people making your choices for you, which is, I like that they chose that message, but I feel like it could have been done better.
Yeah.
And now I'm also with you retelling Rockro's story of, you know, wanting to kill his brother and Velvet wanting to kill her brother-in-law. I almost like, oh man, why couldn't they even switch? Why couldn't Velvet have just been able to just kill Artorias and be done with it? And go on to like have a drink and whatever and kind of meander through the rest of the story the way Rockro did.
Yeah.
When he killed Shigure, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go out for drinks and then do whatever you guys want to do. Like, man, he had the easy life being the sad character. Velvet didn't deserve this.
No, not at all. It was dumb.
Dumb ending.
It was a dumb ending.
I like the journey of that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost like the game was like, wait, no. I mean, you could end it now, but it was like, we've got some really cool things to show you, because there were all those wonderful little sub-quests that we had a really great time doing.
Yeah.
And then even when we got to the final fucking dungeon and we were ready to hammer out that last boss, it was like, wait, you like fighting, right? Well, here's a specialized boss that'll give you new
Just
power.
don't end the game. We're not done with it. We're still writing the script as you're playing it.
It's almost like they were constructing all the ending while we were playing, and they're just like, no, don't look behind the curtain. I do like that there was so much to do before the end fight, and it was almost like the ending was very short.
It was sort of like the Tales of Xillia 2 ending.
Exactly.
Where it was really short, and they're just
it was really short, and you're like,
okay, we're done.
Please,
by curtains down.
Almost like they're pacing over, like, please let the rest of the game really set your impression. I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna see if it works. I don't know if it will. And I do think that they may be trying to do something. I'm just really worried because typically when Tales games like to put characters from a previous title in another title, they don't do a very good job. We've seen it in the sequels.
That's a giant dragon that takes up like 90% of the screen.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Imagine playing as him in Tales of Berseria 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Even in fucking, like, the mobile games that we have, they can't, it just doesn't work. Like, they just can't write that character again for whatever reason, so I'm very worried. And if they do a trilogy thing, and they have a third game, and it's got a completely different title, it's not called Tales of Berseria 2, it's not called Tales of Zestiria 2, it's called something... Gosterpania.
Gosterpania.
Tales of Gosterpania, the third title.
Yeah.
I'm worried that, you know, it'll obviously have to have its own cast. And if they do try to wrap up Velvet's story...
No, I think they're going to do the thing where it's, like, two characters, new characters, like an edgy guy and an edgy girl. And
like a Tales of Symphonia 2 kind of thing?
Yeah, or like a Tales of Xillia 2 kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, we just had Luger in that one, but you're right.
And then some returning characters.
There's Luger now.
Like, maybe, not Lopusette and Velvet, but like the other character is. Eisen turns into a dragon in that game at the end of the game. Eleanor learns that...
Eleanor's already died of old age.
Eleanor doesn't develop at all.
She's died at old age, and where we just see everyone
Eleanor's
standing
an
around
old
her.
lady character, and she's the best part of the game.
Yes. Give me that old lady, Mamco.
Magilu doesn't change at all, actually gets worse, and is just comic relief for the whole game.
But she's like mean, so it's not funny, and you're just like, gee, what happened to you? Why are you like this?
And Rockro just gets sad.
Horrible bastardizations of their old characters, and they've developed in all the wrong ways while you were gone, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just gonna finish that up. Like, I'm worried that they'll put Saray, they'll have like a little Saray chunk, and they'll have a little Velvet chunk, but they're not really gonna put any care or love into them. They're gonna now focus on this new cast for that third game, and that'll be the real point of all of this. Which will be extraordinarily disappointing, because they were really pushing that, first solo female protagonist.
Yeah, right.
You better take care of that title. And now it's sort of like, well, when will we ever see that again? Are you ever going to do this again? Do I want you to do this again? You did a really good job writing the character. I really enjoyed the character. I wish you had not flubbed the ending. I guess it's not a huge surprise that you flubbed the ending, because most things do these days, but... Man, couldn't you just have been different? Couldn't you have gone for the simple kind of ending and just made everyone
happy? The ending
happy?
of a video game doesn't even matter anymore at this point, because it's just like, you played through all my game. So the ending doesn't matter anymore, because you played through the whole game. It leaves a
lasting impression. It tells people who have played through the whole game get to be like, well, did you buy...
Well, I mean, this game's fucking, 80 hours long?
Well, yeah, with the subquests, which are very much worth it,
50 to 80 hours long, and then, by that time, your friends who are thinking about getting the game are going to ask you about it. It's like, yeah, this game's fucking fantastic, get it, I feel like...
I mean, up until tonight, I would have totally been like, yeah, it's really fucking good, it might be the best in a long time.
Yeah, I was very close to putting it up next to Grace's.
And I still rank it really high, because honestly it was so much fucking fun.
I still rank it high too, definitely, but
up until tonight,
not super great. I mean, that ending was
super disappointing, and the fact that we could easily be like, well, I could kind of do it better. With that aside, I feel kind of bad for people who rushed through it. Because I feel like all the best parts of the game was not getting through the main story, but it was
side quests. Well, I mean, that's the best part of any RPG, honestly.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even the main story wasn't even that bad. Except it was the ending was really the worst part. So it's sort of like the journey and the subquests. The whole meat of the game was way better than the frosting up top.
Yeah.
Frosting was terrible.
Did they even try It's like a berry cake and then just a fucking red velvet frosting.
Bess was gonna get mad at you.
Okay, I mean, red velvet's okay. I'm neutral towards red velvet.
You have a delicious...
It just wouldn't match a berry cake.
It's the cake and it's got the chocolate chips inside and it's really moist and delicious, and then you get to the frosting and it's that's just basically just sugar and it hurts your teeth.
Brand,
yes, kind of almost flavorless frosting on top, and you're just like, wow.
What?
Who would do this?
I have a great idea for the I feel like they wrote up to that point and then they're just like, what do we do?
And everyone was like, I'm gonna use the bathroom for the next 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to go now. You guys figure it out.
I feel like they got up to that point, they're like, what do we do to make this ending interesting and unique from the rest of the Tales of It endings? When they didn't have to.
But they didn't make it unique. They made it Tales of Filia too.
No, they made it unique.
And then they fucked that up.
They made it unique in that they wanted a plot twist. Because, I mean, what kind of ending is it without a fucking plot twist, right?
Yeah.
So they were just like, oh, Velvet's gonna chew on Laphicette's nipples and vice versa throughout the rest of the time.
You're making this so much worse than it was.
It's weird, okay? And for the rest of eternity, right? That's going to be our unique point of the ending. When they could have just been like, Inominat's dead, Laphicette becomes a new Empyrean because we have to cover up that plot hole, and then the rest of them all live happy, and Velvet's all, wistful, looking up to the sky like, thank you, Laphicette,
That's what I wanted.
That's all you had to do! That's so easy, and then it would have been a good game. I mean,
give me that stereotypical JRPG ending that I wanted.
I mean, it would have been a better game with that ending rather than the weird artsy nipple chewing. I mean, it wouldn't have blown her socks off, but it would have been
I
decent.
would've-
It would have just been like
I honestly,
a forgettable ending.
if
It's
it
fine,
had
whatever.
aforementioned ending with, wistfully looking into the sky, it probably would have beat out Vesperia for me with its weird octopus trying to eat the planet.
Yeah, you know what?
Because it would have made sense from the beginning, and it would have been a happy
I would
ending.
have to consider it, but I'd say it'd probably be equal with Grace's because of how...
You can't beat the battle system for you.
Yeah, well, you can't beat the battle system, and B, I felt like the characters could have gotten closer by the end.
True.
But, I mean, like, it was really interesting throughout. The characters were interesting. The battle system was fun.
I feel like
it was like Xillia, except better than everything, except for the end of the story. Where just fucking
Because I almost even feel like Xillia was almost a closer fan than the Berseria fan, but I'm still not sure.
Characters were less interesting in Xillia, in my opinion.
They were flatter, but you know what? I was just about to say, oh, maybe it's because the ages are so different in Berseria, where, like, because, again, I was going through the footage, and it's like, you have Velvet and Eleanor and Rocco trying to parent Laphicet, and then you have Eisen parenting all of them.
Yeah.
And then you have Magilou not really giving a fuck in the corner. So it's sort of like they didn't, I don't know, I feel like maybe because their ages were so varied, maybe they didn't connect. But in Xillia, we had Rowan, and he didn't try to dad anyone, except Elise, who needed it.
Azangas are the heart of any man's passion.
Yeah, but when he was talking with Jude and Alvin, who are, again, two different ages, he kind of fit in with them.
Yeah.
So, why... I don't know.
What are you saying here?
I guess I'm wondering why the Berseria party didn't click. But you're right, the Xillia party was simpler.
I feel like they did fairly well. I feel like they just didn't develop characters interacting with each other more. So it's always been like Rocco and Eisen teaching Laphicet how to be a man. Magilou trolling Eleanor or Velvet. Velvet getting mad at Magilou. Velvet telling Eleanor what's up.
Both of them trying to mom Laphicet.
Yeah, both of them trying to mom
Just nagging
Laphicet.
him. It was the nagging kind of mom. It wasn't any other kind of mom.
Magilou trolling Laphicet. And then that was kind of like all of the interactions where they could have had like Magilou and Rocco. Maybe they like to drink together. Who knows?
They should maybe put them in more extreme situations where they actually had to like bond with each other or like depend on each other.
Yeah.
Maybe like there was that one really intense situation in the dungeon when Velvet was literally losing her mind a bit.
Yeah, maybe Eisen and Rocco.
But it was brief.
Like talk to each other and they're gonna be like strength rivals where they're gonna like fight each other and become stronger and fight each other over and over after everything is gone, or maybe. Fucking.
You're right. They did that thing where they're like, oh, here's what the party's doing after the game, and they're all in completely different places.
Eleanor and Eisen
almost.
have like knowledge battles where they test each other to see who knows more about this specific thing.
Yeah, they did that one time, and then they never did.
It was super interesting and hilarious, and then they were just like,
cute.
And then they just didn't like continue their relationship. Like Eisen and Eleanor never interact. Eleanor and Rocco basically never react. Eleanor. That's probably why Eleanor is fucking wasted, was because she never interacted with anyone besides Velvet or Laphicet.
Yeah, and even then I feel like they could have really pushed it farther. I don't think they pushed it as far as they could have.
Yeah.
They really, because you know what really bothers me about that too is they had it very, very easy where it was like Velvet and Eleanor both learned the same fucking teachings from Artorias.
Yeah.
And it was like, I remember I was yelling, yeah, Velvet, it's like talking to yourself. But the game never actually does anything about that. They just kind of get ticked off with each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, can't we, like, hey, I can see some of myself in you, that kind of thing. Like, easy peasy, really.
Maybe, like, Eleanor's practicing the Arthur's maxims, and then Velvet, like, helps her or something at the end.
Yeah, the only time they exchange words like that is when she's, like, fighting her to get her to join the party.
Yeah, really.
It's just like, oh, okay.
But, like, imagine, like, throughout the game, like, the initial skit where they're, like, she's, like, doing it wrong, and Velvet's just like, oh, what is she fucking doing? That idiot. And then she just fucking yells at her or something, and then, like, later on in the game, she's like, no, you're supposed to do it like this. And she shows her. And I'm showing fucking development or something, I don't know.
Yeah, it would show a little, like, they're connecting on something that they have similar, whereas I feel like the only thing they had similar, or the same, that they got along with was Laphicet. That was the only thing that they really cared about the same, when they actually had a lot of things in common, and it just never came up.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't, the party wasn't that bad, but it was like...
It could have been better.
It could have been way better.
But it wasn't that bad, you're right.
Characters interacting with
each
other.
I'm changing all of my opinions and thoughts as we talk.
Yeah.
But you're right. It could have been better, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was probably one of the better parties, honestly. But
I agree. I still got the strong feeling from them. There's still that cameo dungeon.
yes.
We have an hour left. You want to kind of...
Do the cameo dungeon?
A little bit.
I'm kind of pooped, honestly.
Okay.
I kind of don't want to do the cameo dungeon just yet.
Okay.
I need to, like, digest this.
Okay. I don't want to. That's my problem. I want to be like, nope, never happened. We're still playing the game. This is some weird dream that you're going to wake up and tell everybody tomorrow on how funny it is and how bad and awful it was.
God damn, that was so, like...
At
least it was quick.
Yeah, that's really the best part of it, is it was very fast. I definitely thought there was going to be a third form to Artorias. Did not realize that was the final fight. I was kind of fucking around.
Remember when I was just surfing into the final boss on Magulu?
Yeah.
Because it was so easy.
Staring at. Just it's another reason I love Vesperia was that
Have
secret.
a nice trip. Have a nice trip.
Yeah. The secret like third form where he's like super powerful and difficult. They never really did that again.
Yeah, after that Vesperia one where it was really cool and also it made the fight really difficult.
Past Tales games, I wonder if they're not gonna do necessarily a new game yet, but they're gonna do like a Tales of Berseria R or something. Where they have like a dungeon after the dungeon, and then that's when you like free Velvet, hopefully.
Sort of like a Tales of Zestiria DLC?
No, I was thinking a la Tales of Graces, where it was supposed to end, and then they give you a whole other chunk that's almost way better than the original.
Oh, you know what would be great?
With character development being
But they
the
can't
main
retcon
piece.
that ending unless like Velvet wakes up in a cold sweat. It's like, that was really weird.
Like the first part of that dream was pretty cool, and then the ending was really weird. I must never tell anyone. That's what I'm thinking. Because Tales of Hearts R. Tales of Graces F. Maybe we'll get a letter version, and then they'll have like extra hours and stuff added.
Tales
I
of
can
Berseria.
dream.
D.
For jerks.
It stands for Berseria.
Berseria.
Tales of Berseria. Berseria. They could just colon.
No, it's Tales of Berseria S for sorry.
Sorry. Just in really tiny letters. Just the regular Tales of Berseria front art, except it just says fucking sorry.
I want to like fucking Photoshop that now, so it just says, oh, look at the new title by Bamco.
Tales of Berseria.
S.
Sorry.
Well, I'm gonna go see what is unlocked if that's okay. Can I just boot up the save and see what kind of fucking thing they fudge into the Suki, don't hyperventilate. That's my job.
That's my job.
She's doing it because I want to. Hey, let's see what we can put in our new game plus. I can load this, right? That's not bad. Yeah, that's fine, right? Load it. Okay. Library, shop levels, art use.
Carry over equipment proficiency. Why can't we do that?
You don't have enough grade?
Only carry over titles have been selected.
Oh, okay. So just connected to Insight. Oh, so you can carry over like specific.
That's good. That's good.
Game mechanics. It says even one of them. Tails coins, special items, herb enhancements. That's nice.
Wow, that is a lot though.
It's very expensive.
That is not worth it.
We haven't done the canon dungeon yet. We'll see where we are when we finish.
Spend item capacity. Doubles the chance for encountering wandering
enemies.
We
never did a lot of wandering enemies, to be honest.
That's true.
Character changer.
Half experience, double experience, triple experience, enhanced drops, half price enhancing.
Max HP. Are you serious?
No,
Wait, that's it.
Dumb. Okay, so the ones we probably want are the
Cat's
fucking
chest, Cat's spirits can come over, but not.
That's alright.
Looks like we have to do that again, but that's okay. We'll probably do it with a guide.
Fashion items.
Inherit
definitely.
the bottomless Denor bottle and bottomless enough bottle. So I know it doesn't say hoverboard, but
so we don't start with the hoverboard still.
Let me see. Yeah, wandering enemies.
Character changer? What's that? For switch blasts.
Having what you normally use, I guess. Double art learning speed. But it looks like you can get the enough bottles, so that should really help out. And we can kind of gangbusters up until that point in the game, too, now that we know where it is.
Yeah.
That you get it.
Oh, what's a level up bonus?
Let me see.
It's down a bit.
Down a bit?
Yeah, there you go. On the right. Adds level up bonuses to all titles. Some stat increases may be reduced, but they will not go below zero. What?
Adds level up bonuses to all titles.
Oh, to all titles. There's titles that are all, like, okay.
Yeah, those are the ones that we were using to, like, keep PG or whatever.
Yeah, they
What are
will
level
have,
up
like...
bonuses? I didn't even get level them up.
There's, yeah, the more you do of that thing that requires to unlock the title,
like
the higher level it'll be, and the more stuff you'll get from it. So I guess it'll add even more to that, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So I guess we should figure out how much of this we want, but we can do that later. I'm gonna return to the title screen, and then I'm gonna continue, because I think this is how it works to get the cameo dungeon, right? I think you hit this one?
Yes.
Yeah. It looks like a little present.
Your expedition.
Yeah, well, I'm naturally gonna send that out again, even though I really don't have to. And there's no notification or anything. I don't know why I was expecting this to be like hearts. It's been a while. I guess we'll just leave and see what happens.
Oh my god.
Yeah, why the fuck not? I can just turn it off. Is there nothing still here? What? Was there a cameo dungeon in Zisteria? Didn't we have to do something weird to unlock it? No, there was a Hexen Isle.
Yeah, it was a Hexen Isle, and we did that. But...
oh well, I might have to look that up.
Where's our cameo dungeon?
It's not immediately here. It's gotta be here. Well, it doesn't have to be in here, but I'm just like, oh, well, we didn't go back in there. Alright, I'll have to look that up. Alright, PlayStation. I'm gonna
go kill myself.
Yeah.
This is Viper asked for Viperland.